leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Gandhi, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Car era lore. Call me Levi playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Reviews not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
boy.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits, yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeChain, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining us. Everyone who does so, do us a favor, drop us a GM in the chat down below. Then head up top, smash that like, repost, and bookmark on today's space. We greatly appreciate it. It does warm up the algo and does us a real solid. Also up there, you'll find the link, the YouTube chat, the Stream Drop Mobile that's live right now, as well as we're live over on X's app, Steve's Abstract, and Steve's X. And last but not least, the carousel for the week is pinned up to the top. All the way left, go up there and smash those reminders. We get things warmed up this morning. We would greatly appreciate that as well. As always, I'm Captain, my co-host, Steve. Nerdy Financial Advice to the show. Crypto is risky, MT is risky, meme coins exception risky, and go to zero to moments notice. Please don't put any money you can't afford to lose. Knows that Steve and I hold tokens we'll talk about for time here on the show. We're not financial advisors, certainly not your financial advisors. Just here for some fun, some information, education along the way. GM, Steve, how you doing, sir?
GM, you said we were over on X's Abstract. I just think of Exhibit. Like, I heard you like an abstract, so we put an abstract inside your abstract to make your abstract even more abstracty.
Abstracting. Inception at abstract,
Abstractception, a little bit of I don't know. We're figuring it out. I mean, what a weekend, man. You know, I had a nice weekend with the fam, got some things done, got some work done. You're gonna want to stick around and be around for our interview today that we have, because we are launching something here, and I realized I probably should have put a limit on the thing we're doing today. So maybe we'll have something that really gets the full set collectors in a special place. We'll give more updates on that later. But no, it was kind of a crazy weekend. We hit an ETH all-time high. We ripped violently backwards, which was kind of crazy. And yeah, man, it's been an interesting weekend to follow. I rebalanced my Sol USDC pool like 6 times over the weekend because it kept ripping both directions, one way or the other. And at this point, I was almost fully in Sol and said, oh, we'll see if we get a little bounce here and get ourselves back into some USDC. But yeah, it's been a crazy weekend, at least on my end, just following. I mean, CE like kiss an all-time high, think we're going to 5,000 and end up at below 4,600 was a little bit of a shocker. Glad I am not playing leverage games, not, to make anybody feeling bad who is, but leverage games certainly will get you sometimes, Cap. So yeah, man, it was a interesting weekend for sure. How was your weekend?
It's good. Nothing too crazy. Got some stuff done. I've got a crazy busy week ahead and laid some groundwork for that, but I've got let me see. Let me double check. I think I've got 31 days in August, so the 31st is next Monday, right? Is that correct? It's important. Yes. No, 31st is Sunday.
I was gonna say,
so
yeah.
I have exactly 7 days remaining to find a solution to not be homeless. So countdown is on. I am probably gonna do like impromptu garage sale this weekend to get rid of all the shit I don't want to move. And I may hit the road for a bit. I may hit the road for a couple weeks because there's extremely unlikely that I get into the place that I'm attempting to in 6-7 days. So may just go. It could have used that RV right now. But yeah, probably gonna go Airbnb for a bit. I did book. We talked about what travels we talk about. We've coordinated our Vegas travels. We're good on that. We've also talked about we're not good. We're gonna have an interesting end of the year. We're gonna be recruiting. It looks like we're gonna be recruiting some guest co-hosts who may be the primary co-host, while Steve and I may or may not be joining the show. We will go live. We've committed to not going off the air, but Steve and I both going to be on a boat for about a week at the same time towards the end of the year. And then I don't think I've shared with you yet. I am actually not just going to the Bahamas. I'm actually going to St. Croix for a few days here towards the end of the month. So like a Sunday through Wednesday trip. Might actually, I think it'll be my first days of 2025 that I'll be not on coffee. Is that right? I don't think I've missed a show yet this year.
I don't think you have, actually. No, it'll be good. I
should have checked with you before I booked
No,
that.
no. What days are those?
20th through 24th
Of September, do you say? Yeah. So
month,
that should be fine. I
prioritize it. My priorities are right. I'm stacking vacations before I secure my next residence. So
seems about right. Bull market shit. I've got
also, I mean, we didn't rip past 5K, so not happening now. But I learned this weekend that you can buy a legal functioning tank in the state of Florida and own it. So
I did see that. Yeah,
that might be. I mean, that's definitely bull market vibes, but no one started shopping private jets yet.
There will be signs. Yeah,
yeah. I think we're still. This is why we know we're not near the top, because no one's bought a tank, no one's bought a jet, no one's even talked about buying jets yet. No DAOs have tried to buy, some 200-year-old historical document. Like none of the top signals have hit. So everyone who's telling you is top, they're just. Although I saw Morgan Stanley, it was a Tom Lee post this morning. My jaw dropped. Like in 2024, Morgan Stanley said like 62% of people didn't hold crypto. Up in 2025 to like 82%. I'm guessing they didn't survey the same people, and I'm guessing it's a small sample size. But
yeah, that's bait. That's what they call the bait. It's good bait in the chum in the water for people like us. But no, I don't.
Actually kind of nervous. Like for the first time, if this is true, I think it's a funky sample is my guess. I don't think there's any way only 18% of people in the U.S. hold crypto. I very confident it's a much bigger number than that. But let's just say hypothetically that from 2024 to 2025, people exited and less people have crypto now. Is there like, I mean, we kind of joke here that TradFi is Wall Street's buying our bags. TradFi is going to buy our bags. Part of the allure of crypto was retail can get in before the big banks. That's ending. Like if, and we'll go to the ETH treasury here in a minute, but if Bitmine and Strategy and all these funds own all the Bitcoin and all the ETH, not everyone participates in the stock market today. Very few, actually. What if retail just never, they'll come on chain? I do believe that. I think just most apps, the internet runs better on chain. I think most will come on chain. But what if most retail just never buys crypto again? Because it's already, they feel like they're late. They missed it. It's another Wall Street thing, and I can't play with those in that world. I don't know. Am I looking too much into this? It was a really shocking number to me.
I guess
he says we're still early. I would agree, but at some point, I don't know. Does that become a turnoff to a lot of retail? Am I making any sense? What I'm trying to think of, or trying
give me the concern though, because I don't think anything you're saying would. First of all, I don't know that these numbers feel right. That we've lost percentage. Number one, there's more Coinbase users. There's more people using. The space has clearly grown, and it's grown into the traditional world. It's
almost as if Morgan Stanley went out and pre-asked these people if they had a Coinbase account or something before asking if they held any crypto. It just doesn't seem right at all to me, the number.
Yeah, I'm always skeptical. I'd have to look at how it was done and who, obviously Morgan Stanley, what was their reasoning for it? How do they want, surveys are very, very finicky in how you can do them. Trust me, having worked in PR, when you'd want to get a survey that had good information on it, you'd figure out how to ask a question, what question you wanted, versus the people who were actually trying to find information about our business. They would ask questions in a way that got us the best possible answer. So that's one. I think number two, yeah, I mean, a lot of people weren't in stocks in the 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And those that are now sitting on $10, $15, $20 million who had normal jobs just doing 401k and stacking stocks and putting money there. So I guess my question is it depends on what people's goals are. If someone's saying, look, I want sovereign money for all, there's concern there. If your answer is you want the greatest wealth creation opportunity that ever existed, for this generation, right? The stock market where the boomers, crypto feels like it possibly could be now, who knows? Then it's good it's not a crowded trade, and it's probably good it'll never be a crowded trade. Just like the stock market, you talk about who owns stocks. I mean, obviously large parts of middle America aren't going to be there, and a lot of places aren't offering sort of those 401k options and everything. It's just, so stock ownership is probably I don't know what percentage of Americans really own stocks. I'd have to look into what those numbers are, but it doesn't, I mean, a number like that in a survey like that, especially a little survey like that, doesn't concern me. And, it's not really doing anything for me as far as me being worried about the world never, like you said, the world's going to come on chain, and being early to that matters. It's just I know hodl was just kind of a misspelling type thing, but I've seen people call hodl hold on for dear life. Hold on for dear life. See what happens, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not believing in it, and I just think it's too much for traditional finance to ignore. I think it's too much for a lot of the people in wealth creation positions to ignore. So look, if we catch that wave, look, we had another Bitcoin whale cash out this weekend. I'm sure we'll hit on that. Bitcoin whale cashed out.
So a couple things are happening. Some of the Bitcoin whales are cashing out, nuking the charts, and a few of them are rotating into ETH pretty heavily.
I mean, yes, there's that, but I mean, the Bitcoin, I guess before we go into that deep, because I agree, and actually that's something I want to talk about this morning is Bitcoin versus the rest of the market. But for people who missed it this weekend, I'll share it here. This came across. I found this fascinating. So it said, the just in. Actually, it probably makes more sense to zoom this way for the stream. A Bitcoin whale just sold 24,000 Bitcoin worth over $2.7 billion, causing a $4,000 crash in minutes. Okay, so like, oh my God, $2.7 billion worth of Bitcoin sold in, crazy. They still hold almost 153,000 Bitcoin worth 73 million. Like, crypto created so much wealth. And again, who knows? We don't know where this whole thing's going to end up. Obviously, we're believers. We have thoughts on this thing. But at some point, like, maybe, just maybe, like, we end up being not the 2.7 billion people, but maybe we're cashing out $5 million on something in a few years from now, in 5-10 years from now. And it's like, wow, like, just holding on and just being here matters. Just existing in this space and continuing to hold on mattered. Because if you just held on in 2016, 2017, you'd be in good shape. The opportunities that exist in the NFT market were so huge if you held on through 2020 and 2021 and, found the right spot.
Steve froze. Just me? Hang tight. Not sure what's happening. Yeah, it says internet being funky. He'll be right back. Yeah. One sec. I don't know if he's disconnected or not, but Thumbnail Steve does remain undefeated. If you're missing this, it couldn't have locked on a better image. But here's what we're going to do.
Hold on, sir.
Starting to come back, but you're still not quite there. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a quick daily market update. We'll let you get the internet figured out. And we will be, by the time we get done with daily market update, Steve will be back. So let me play us in. We'll do a quick daily market update. It may depress some of you who've not looked at the charts yet. So close your eyes, cover your ears, and I will.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeCoin, no hype, just gains. Moving on ApeChain, we bringing the heat. NFTs, fence alpha, never miss a beat. ApeChain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, figures now what's next. Come on, my head time, money for the time, and chop cough for one time.
It's time for the daily market update brought to you by ApeChain. ApeChain, the home of NFTs, the home of Other Side, and the home of a very exciting promo, our biggest giveaway ever. We're going to be kicking off today. Really excited to talk about that more in a bit. We got a special guest joining us at 9, and we will we'll get into that here in a little bit later. But without further ado, our daily market update here brought to you by ApeChain. We're going to start with majors today, and majors are down, but it's single digits down across the board. Bitcoin down 3% to 111. ETH down 4% to 4,500. If you missed it, I sent out a tweet earlier. ETH at 4,500 last week. The timeline was euphoric. ETH at 4,500 this week. You're seeing the KOLs or sideline saying the top is in, the cycle's over. They are wrong. XRP down 2% to 2.93. Solana down 4%, lost 200. It's still 196. Doge down 5% to 21 cents, and Cardano down 4% to 85 cents. Runes, they're always bloody, I feel. Memes, Doge down 5%, Sheeb down 3%, Pepe down 5%, Pingu down 7%. Load up your Pingu tips today. They cost you less than they did on Friday. Trump down 3%, Bonk down 5%. Some winners, maybe. Let's still go biggest top movers here. Donkey, that's fitting, I guess, and any of the others. But as we head up to NFTs, I do have some additional insight here. The feet and eyes guys, looks like a farm, or no, not a farm, sorry. It's some wash trading there. Only 70 sales on crazy volume. So just to ignore that one. Pudgy's down 20% on the day, 9.83. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Moonbird's down 9% on the day, almost 10% to 3.1. Snuggles, base collection, trying to do some quick math. Looks like definitely some wash trading going involved in there as well. Apes down 6%. They bled out slower than Pudgy, so the kind of flappenings we don't like to see when it's just they're all bleeding out. Little's down 14% of the day to 1.2. Mutant's down 10% of the day to 1.4. Azuki down 9% of the day to 1.7. V1 Punk's down 4% of the day to 4.22. And this one here actually looks legit. Quill's Adventure 0.29, up 83% of the day, 154 sales on 37 ETH of volume. I'm not familiar. If anyone is, let us know what's going on with this one here. Been around for a minute, it looks like, and just God candle despite the market sell-off. So no idea what's going on, but these sales are still flying in at the 0.3 mark here over the last half hour. Someone, if anyone knows what this is about, let us know. It's on ETH, it's on mainnet, and 30 supply is 3333. No idea, but quite a bit of volume, and it's I don't know. It must have been an announcement, token coming maybe. I don't know. Back to the NFT market. It's fun when NFTs are going up and ETH is going up. Not so fun when ETH is going down and NFTs are being sold up like crazy. Important to note here, these aren't just being sold. We're in the midst of cascading liquidations. We talk about leverage. It's one thing when you're getting stomped out on your longs, on your tokens, your coins. Markets work a little bit different here. Most of these holders are taking out loans on their assets, and when the floor drops, they have to pay that debt down, or they're going to be liquidated, and these assets will go into auction. There's a couple, I think it was maybe Zir or Raheem. One of them they just gave the numbers, but the reason that Pudgies are down 20% and Apes are down 6% is there was like 500 some loans on Pudgies and about 100 or 200 loans on Apes. Don't hold me to those exact numbers. I'll see if I can find the data here in a second. But if you're in the market for, really any of these assets, but in particular, if you're in the market for a Pudgy or a little Pudgy, the next 24 to 48 hours might be good time to go shopping. I'm actually going to be looking at a little Pudgy today. The bottom is probably not in. I haven't checked the loan books myself, but I don't believe it's done. So what happens is not only are these individuals getting liquidated, then whoever lent that money, they usually don't want the asset. They're just looking to make a return, potentially, maybe farming points or something. But they often then will just sell those assets into WETH bids, and it can cascade pretty quickly, as we're seeing today. So yeah, do your own research. Not financial advice, certainly. But if you're looking to enter one of these ecosystems and you're okay if the floor continues to bleed out for a little bit, historically, it doesn't always happen, but historically, and specific to the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem, when this happens, the dips get bought up pretty quick after the liquidations are done. Smart money, some whale out there with 7 figures are going to throw into an NFT collection. They know what's happening. They're not buying it right now because the loans are still going to auction. Soon, once they get flushed out, usually they see a fund or a whale steps in and buys up the floor, and it bounces back to where it was. History doesn't repeat itself. May not happen this time, but I think I will be shocked if Pudgies are still single digit and littles are still 1.2 come Friday. I'm just guessing, but I think next 24 to 48 hours is probably could be your best entry for several of these collections, but in particular those that have been getting hit by cascading liquidation. Steve, back to you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I need to change ISPs. So remember a couple months ago, I had some issues with my internet service provider out occasionally. Hadn't happened, and I forgot about it. And when it happened again this morning, it was a good reminder. I need to upgrade and switch to something that is not going to wig out anytime that I don't know, it's raining a little bit, so maybe there's an issue there. But Yeah, Cap, I actually want to talk a little bit about this because I put out this tweet this morning and it's just kind of my musings that I have. But one of the things I noticed was, and I won't kind of read the whole tweet, but I'll give you the gist and get your thoughts on this because you talked about the ETH rotation and what we're seeing there. So we've seen Bitcoin chop now for about 3 months. It was 109,000 3 months ago. It's now 111,000. Great spot for Bitcoin. Again, we've only been over 100,000 for like less than 9 months. Bitcoin used to be like the leading indicator. Now, was it the leading indicator and things are moving up now? Or are ETH, SOL, XRP is Bitcoin like a traditional asset now? Is it a TradFi asset? So it's like less volatility in both directions? Or is it just the catalysts that are pushing them upward? You know, ETH, obviously, they had the ETF. SOL, like, has ETF rumors, speculation. What do you think is going on that in the past 3 months, we've seen Bitcoin be relatively flat? We've heard some people calling it a boomer coin, all those things. Is Bitcoin going to have another like parabolic run up at some point? We're like, oh, haha, Bitcoin's still king. Where people are caught, too far the other direction. Is this a new meta? Because ETH, SOL, and XRP have outkicked Bitcoin pretty hard in the last 3 months. And it feels like Bitcoin's been established as this asset that, like, when I talk to my friends and family, it's a little bit more accepted that Bitcoin's a thing. But, like, even when I was talking to a banker, they're like, ETH, yeah, I don't know about that one. So what do you think's going on there?
I just think it's normal. I mean, it's just, as far as I know, it's every cycle Bitcoin pumps first. And then once Bitcoin starts chopping, then ETH runs, and then alts run, and then NFTs run. Not obviously NFTs be it last cycle, but yeah, I think Bitcoin led the way, and not saying it won't go up again, not saying it can't hit all-time high, but just like these Bitcoin whales that are, I'll go find the hyperliquid tweets because it's where most of that activity is taking place. These Bitcoin, just like the one that sold off billions in one click of a button over, yesterday or tonight or last night. I don't know what they're doing. They may be taking their cash and going by an island, but you can track on hyperliquid a lot of the ones similar that had massive large positions, ancient Bitcoin whales, they're rotating into ETH. I do think ETH outperforms the rest of the cycle. What I just don't know is how long does that run. I think I feel pretty good about another 6 months ahead of us. I feel pretty good. We head into the end of the year and maybe even the first part of next year. I just don't know beyond that. I also think the 4-year cycle thing might be, and I'm not saying like, oh, it's going to be super cycle and it's going to go up forever. I just, if Bitcoin and ETH have broken into traditional financial markets, TradFi doesn't, equities don't run on a 4-year cycle, much longer. And you see like the president, his sons and organizations talking like, oh, this cycle is going to be, Bitcoin's not going to be another bear for Bitcoin for a very long time. Like, I do think there is some merit that because this is different, and anyone who says this cycle is not different, like, they're being disingenuous. We've never had ETFs like this. We've never had this sort of institutional buying pressure. We've never had the strategic reserve companies. It is different, and it will have an impact on the market. I don't know exactly what, we don't know, but to say it's the same or it's not any different than prior cycles is just incorrect, like factually incorrect. This cycle is very different. Now, could it end up being the same timeline? Could be. I just think it makes a lot more sense to me that Bitcoin and ETH start trading closer to traditional bull and bear markets as opposed to the 4-year cycle, which that narrative is built around Bitcoin halving. Like, it has nothing to do with ETH other than ETH has always traded kind of in lockstep with Bitcoin. But to your earlier point, I do think we could be seeing a, kind of a break from that, as you've got, like, I think there's becoming like, before everyone like, well, crypto is crypto, and maybe people say, oh, Bitcoin is different. Then you have all the other stuff. I think now you've got institutional side of crypto, which for all intents and purposes right now is primarily Bitcoin and ETH, and then you have everything else. Now, I don't believe everything else is going to break away from the trends. I just think that makes a lot of sense why I think you could see, because everyone who is looking to get into Bitcoin or crypto now, get some exposure to it. It's just it's logically, rationally, you could see where they say, okay, Bitcoin's already hit its all-time high this cycle. I know ETH just did, but Bitcoin's way up from where it was. Like, call it a 2x for easy math over where its last all-time high last cycle. ETH is still below its all-time high of last cycle now. Math is math. Like, okay, like if both these things make sense, if we're going to see all this institutional demand, all this buy pressure, ETH just seems like, and I'm an ETH bull, but it just seems like a much easier trade than Bitcoin for the duration, however long this cycle lasts. And this is part of it, right? Like, yes, you still have Sailor. Sailor's going to keep buying Bitcoin. It'll probably keep top blasting. BitMine, now over 7 billion of ETH in their strategic reserve, up to 1.5 million ETH, 7 billion in total. ETHZilla only holding 400 million of ETH currently. Did you see what they just raised?
No, I didn't.
10 billion. They're going to buy 10 billion more of ETH. They held 400 million currently. Like if crypto Twitter stops capitulating and selling their ETH, how does the number not go up? And that's just one. They're 10th right now, and they're in the process of raising to become number one. But we also know that BitMine, Tom Lee and crew have a lot more they have more cash at their disposal. I think there's another 2 billion in cash already, and attempting to acquire 5% of all ETH. Today they have 1.2% of the supply. Not even talking about SBET, which is also out there raising an extra 5 billion. Like, I don't hear other Bitcoin treasury reserve companies. It's Sailor, right? So when you've got Bitcoin, a larger market cap, it's a unit price matters. It just, everything to me, from forget charts, forget cycles, just, this is real demand. There's more and more of it. And I don't know how you build a bear case around that, or say all the site, it's over, we topped. Forget that ETHZilla, who only has 400 million ETH, is going to buy 10 billion. It's just, they're only going to buy that. They're trying to catch a falling knife. Like, get out of here. Like, I don't know. I don't see in any world where, by the way, I haven't looked at this for a while yet, or in a minute. Last week, it was bleeding out as people were freaking out about no rate cuts. Then we get rate cuts and back to net positive inflows. But even more so than the ETF, I think these ETH strategic reserves, it's just heating up. And, like I said, over the weekend, ETHZilla raising 10 billion. I don't see anyone other than Sailor, as far as the treasury companies go, raising billions of dollars to buy more Bitcoin. Do you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. And I think your point on the cycle changing, like, I want to keep hammering on that one, because I think that's like the thing that we've talked about, where it's almost like every cycle is a little bit different, but this one's very, very different, right? Like even different than the NFT cycle and the last cycle. And I think you showing that the strategic reserve site is a perfect example of, like, the continual inflows of ETH, the continual inflows of TradFi money. And I think, like, it does make it different. It makes me wonder, to your point, do ETH and Bitcoin have catalysts that move it one direction or the other in small percentages, once the dust settles here, once everybody's really in, and then we just trade in lockstep with bull and bear markets, and instead of like these cycles that we talk about, like you said, based on the halving. And it does feel like the more it becomes intertwined with TradFi. The other thing I wanted to kick some dust up on, and maybe this gives some credence to your brand coin theory, is I do wonder if we get to the point, as TradFi becomes intertwined. TradFi does have, sort of meme stocks occasionally, and it does have some cult stocks occasionally. But the truth about TradFi is TradFi likes real things, real stories. And does it become real business, real stories like ETH, Solana, Bitcoin, digital gold, and, Solana, Bitcoin, securing the infrastructure of the internet, basically. Like, I wonder if some of the separation comes from, like, there's a couple memes, there's a couple things, and then everything else, it's like, it matters. The majors matter. And, like, we start to see businesses and underlying fundamental. We talk about the revenue meta, which is one of the most hilarious things that we say in this thing. Like, it's like, as if, like, the revenue meta hasn't existed in business for hundreds of years, thousands of years if you just count trade. But I do wonder if that becomes a thing. So I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like spitballing on it, but it was just an interesting thing. I actually have more on it, so I'll kick us right into that, and then we can hit on other news of the day. And, we got our special guest coming up on here in about 20 minutes. You're going to want to be here for that one to get your first.
Ooh, we lost Steve again. We'll give it a second, and then we will get we will do something else. I may have to wing the the more you know if we lose Steve. Geesh, big tip or Steve should forfeit his tips today due to the internet issues, but NFT Drew over there making it rain with 420
going to
maybe back.
Am I back?
Yes, I said you have to forfeit your tip though. Drew just made it rain over there with 420 Pingu that you lose eligibility for due to your internet issues today. But welcome back. Go ahead and give us.
It's helping me. It's helping me buy. It's helping me buy
420 Pingu can afford internet.
Well, you know what the annoying part is I'm pretty sure the reason it goes out is because there is a box out front that if a squirrel takes a piss on it, it knocks out my internet. And basically the internet company's like, oh, there's nothing we could do about that. Like when I first talked to them about it, and I was like, oh, okay, like, can we build like something around it? They're like, well, as long as we can still access it. I'm like, so you don't want to do anything about it. You won't let me build a little box around it to make sure that it's safe unless it's like perfectly accessible by you. Like, so I'm just going to switch up from, I think I'm on Spectrum now, and I think AT&T is offering much faster internet too. They just upgraded in my area. So we are going to change for sure. Zane, shout out Zane. I don't think he minds me sharing this one in the war room. He said, Steve canceled his internet to buy the dip. Respect. So there we go. Let's do this. I'm going to see if we can get through the more, and we can keep going. Hopefully I don't go out too hard during the other page guys, because I'm looking forward to having a conversation with them. And I probably have to kind of take a little bit of the lead there. I don't know if you did the thing I texted you about, but let me know if everything worked. Everything went well. All right. The test balloons have been fired. Let's go. All right. We're going to do more, The
more you know, brought to you by ENS.
It's time for the more you know, brought to you by ENS. And look, I was talking a little bit about what we've seen from ETH and Sol over Bitcoin in the past 3 months. Ethereum and Solana have once again outpaced Bitcoin in a big way. Ethereum is up nearly 60% compared to Bitcoin, which is relatively flat. Over the past 4 months, ETH has surged 300%. We've seen the ETH resurgence, which has been just a beautiful thing to see. I keep reminding people when they get upset about the bear market that it really is not that long. Just a few months ago, we were 1,800 ETH. So let's calm down. Ethereum ETFs put nearly $1.8 billion in a single week, while Bitcoin's ETF barely cracked 70 million. Solana's been on fire too, one of the best performers over the last year and a half, rebounding from around $8 after the FTX collapse. Seems like that was just decades ago, but here we are to over $200 today, or closing in on $200 today. And this isn't just, it's funny, when I wrote this yesterday, it was completely different. Yesterday when I wrote this, we were euphoric. And this isn't the first time we've seen altcoins leading the charge. Back in 2017, ETH skyrocketed more than 9,000%, while Bitcoin rose about 1,300%, not too shabby. During the NFT boom in 2021, Ethereum ran up over 400, while Bitcoin climbed just over 70%. Solana has its own monster run in the same year, from under $2 in January to $260 by November, a gain of over 13,000%. Man, those are wild times. Well, Bitcoin's move was a fraction of that. The bottom line, Bitcoin may be a steady anchor, but history shows the big bursts of upside often come from ETH and Sol after the Bitcoin moves. And we're seeing that play out right now. And that was The More You Know, brought to you by ENS. ENS, not just anchoring your name across Web3, but anchoring it across the internet. It's your identity, simple, memorable, and unmistakably yours. Security, interoperability, and ease of use. Go to ens.domain, secure your ENS domain today. And Cap, I did learn a hard lesson about the ETH run on some DeFi plays this weekend because I took some ETH, which I had over on Coinbase that I'd just been buying periodically. I flipped it over to some DeFi positions, and lo and behold, my dollar cost average was an insane capital gains. Like I'm talking like 0.8 ETH for like $600, $700 DCA or something like that. When I like average cost when I made the move. So moved from one wallet to the other, nothing changed. Moved it onto some DeFi and watched a gnarly thousands of dollars capital gain pop up. So we do what we got to do there, but quite the move. So ETH, yeah, I also don't like the fact, I hate like moving crypto to crypto. Obviously, it makes sense that it's a capital gain because you're moving things out, you're booking a win. But man, stacking ETH over the years just kicked me in the wallet with how much that capital gain was. But we roll with it, and that money's in DeFi now, and I'm going to have to sell. I'm going to have to burn some more NFTs to dollar cost average my way out of this one.
Well, plenty of I'm not like, yeah, there's plenty of things to tax loss harvest on the NFT side if I need to this year. So not really sweating gains thus far halfway through the year. Decent, not great, but yeah, still plenty of ammunition in the tank to bring that down should we need it. I know we got a guest coming up here. What are the things that took over the timeline this weekend? If you were offline, maybe you missed it. But I just changed the title. Are we early or are we late to football.fun? Felt kind of like a Top Shot-esque moment. Just will it last? You're the footballer. What are your thoughts?
Dude,
did you pay attention? Are you in?
I completely missed this one. So like I just saw a bunch of people talking. I saw some people lightly talking about it end of last week. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, you know, people are getting involved in some soccer cards. I mentioned before, because of streaming services, I can't follow Chelsea anymore because I have to pay like thousands of dollars in streaming services, and I gave up. So I gave up on that one. Apparently, I don't even know, honestly, like I don't even have insight into what the game is, what the collectability is, what's going on. Like I know nothing about this. It is weird that they have the 24-hour down numbers. Those are down 45%. So there was a little bit of a pullback on some people selling.
Well, so yeah, here, I mean, you can see it. It was growing slowly. It's on base. I'll explain it like this. The highest level is, think of So Rare. If you're not familiar, So Rare is a on-chain fantasy game that you play with, acquire player cards, and you build your lineups with those player cards. Or Rainmakers was similar. Think of a So Rare type, but instead of player cards, you're buying tokens. So it's tokens of players as opposed to cards of players. Still early, a lot going on, but you can buy and sell these players. You can see everything, like just similar with, you know, the loans on Pudgies, different, but if you believe Pudgies are going to bounce and you believe in them long term, or anything that's down, Moonbirds or Apes or anything that's down big on the Bloody Monday, good time to go shopping. Now, if you look at the last day, like, oh, it's over. It's down 40% in the last day. It did overtake the timeline. A lot of people not only overtook the timeline, you saw a lot of screenshots. Hopefully some of those people followed the screenshot rule and they took some profits, because definitely all the screenshots on the timeline of flexing their big P&Ls. And my squad, moved over $2,000. It's now $100,000. That was, that pullback has happened, but you can see it did hit just yesterday, hit the top of the market cap, the total market cap of 126 million, back down to 78 today, but not far off from, I mean, it's still up big from Friday, right? Like when it started really taking off Friday, I guess that would be Saturday. So Saturday it popped, and yesterday was a huge level up. to, like I said, 160 million ish, down almost half of 160 million down to 80 million since yesterday. So that you're going to have a lot of people probably capitulate. You can see these, the prices here. I'm not going to be the best explainer. I intended to get in yesterday. This is one of those times where my my procrastination in doing things that aren't urgent paid off, because I'm getting much better entry today. But I'm a sports fan. There could be something here. I'm going to be experimenting a little more or exploring a little more, I should say. And you see, I have no cards. I have no squad yet. Intended to yesterday. Thankfully, I didn't. And thoughts. I didn't do the best job explaining it, but thoughts.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
that?
my big dumb question is, what is it? So it's just collecting, or there's a game? Like, I guess I'm trying to.
Yeah,
It's like the So Rare game you said, like where it's like, because So Rare was like not just collectibles, but there's actually a game involved. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because
So you can build. You have tournaments. I'll see if I can show you one here. You've got tournaments. You build. Right now, I don't know if they had pack drops, and this isn't the best demo here. I apologize. There's no packs available to buy right now. I don't know if I assume they initially started with pack drops, or just no packs. You can only buy in the secondary. You can buy and sell, but they've got what jumped out to me as a good start. So, I like the tokenized, players. You can bet on your, you buy low, you hold, you enter in your tournaments, or you sell high. I like this conception. I had a lot of fun at Rainmakers. I don't know football. I don't know soccer. So challenge for me. But some of the things that jumped out seemed to be a really good job of gamifying the platform. So when you can see all these, stuff. Oh, I connect to my wallet. I claimed 100 points there. Connect to my X. So a lot of the normal social stuff you might see. But even beyond that, there is, and I got to get back to the page I'm looking for. Look at this. So I have a delegated wallet here, and it automatically recognized my Bored Ape Yacht Club. My Goodbye
wow.
Lithium. I don't even know what UF Coach is. But it's got all these, just from the jump, they're incorporating. Do you hold these other out? You have Yappy Bar. Do you have a Moonbird? Do you have for some reason, maybe it's just Moonbirds, not Mythics. But they identified, he says, connecting these collections can result in reputation boost after periodic manual review through demonstrating a history of using and holding Web3 assets from sports games and other products. So again, not being able to understand the game portion of it yet, not being a soccer fan, a football fan, excuse me, those of you across the sea, I'm not trying to insult your game, but it is Ohio State, Texas week here. So we're going to have to talk about real football a good chunk this week. I like the approach. I hope it lasts. I think this could be fun for more than just football. Like if this sticks, you could see American football, you could see basketball, and I'm rooting for it. Again, it's also on base, so another win for consumer apps on base. I think they generated already well into 7 figures in fees from this. So sorry for not having a better explanation. I thought I would get in deeper yesterday, but good thing I didn't. And maybe we can get the someone from the team on here in the future.
So the creator follows me. I did not realize I didn't follow them until yesterday. So I'll fire off I have a couple of DMs I need to fire off. Lambo Land, PJX will be good to get on here, but like where I'm struggling here with this a little bit, not struggling, but it's like, it almost feels like it's sort of this in-betweener. And I do wonder if it has some similar Top Shot concerns of the people getting involved who have no idea what is going on in soccer. Sure. And they're buying it. And like, because it's not really built for people who are outside of Web3. It is, but it's not in the sense that like when you're recognizing these held assets, I think that's a great feature that you should have. And it's what wallet should look like and how people should approach things. So like, I want to be clear about that. But as far as a thing like this goes, where you're like, okay, maybe this could be a Top Shot thing. Top Shot was an appeal because it was so non-crypto, even though a lot of crypto people got involved and it became very financialized. So I am struggling a little bit with like, it's sort of like a little pregnant, like it's a little Web3, but it's a little like more consumer. It feels like it's a very limited audience in that it's very Web3 focused. And I also think is the goal playing the game, or I like the idea of like having this like dual, you could play the game or you can make money selling the cards, like the DraftKings Rainmaker style. DraftKings Rainmaker was, I don't know. It's interesting to me. I guess I'm probably not explaining this well, but it's interesting to me to think like this sort of like in between of like when I initially saw this on the timeline, my thought was like, oh, it's a non-crypto product for non-crypto people, but crypto people are getting involved. Cool. We'll see what happens there. But like with the Well Connect and the recognizing things, like clearly the crypto community is at the very least, the beta testers, but like the boosts and things you get for holding NFTs, it's like that's really nerdy in the weeds crypto stuff. And so like I worry that this sees similar fates to the early NBA Top Shot, where it's like, okay, it's more the crypto audience who are just like parabolically being like, hey, we're undervaluing cards from, John Stones or whoever. Like it's just like random like players. So I don't know. And John Stones isn't a total random player. I mean, obviously he's very good, but like just like random like picking a player and then it's like people don't actually know who he is or where he came. It's like, there's a collector who's like, oh, I've been following him since Everton, and then there's the person who's like, oh yeah, like I see that his card's going up in value. I'm betting on the John Stones market, so I'm kind of corner it. I don't know. Like there's something here that like I see that there's an opportunity there, but like when you have this mix of people who aren't really understanding the product and are just playing the market, it's a recipe for potential bubbles. I don't know. So I'll probably stay somewhat clear of this one because I don't know. Like maybe it's an opportunity, but it also might just be a falling. I don't know. Like I'm not sure.
Here's the quick start guide. You get three packs to start, plus one every 4 hours, unless 2 packs remain unopened. Spend tournament points to open packs and receive player shares to your development pool. Promote or cut player shares from your development pool and trade directly on the market to build a squad you think will perform in the upcoming fixtures and season ahead. Watch your stars win 2 tournaments per week. Own shares and players, predicting who will hit the top 5 in their position during the tournaments, or top 3 for goalkeepers. Increase your rankings, receive tournament points and skill points at the end of the tournament to continue to build your squad and dominate the leaderboard. So maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't. I think it's something new and innovative. And if you zoom out, even if you're not into football, even if you're not into this sort of stuff, the attention, the demand, the volume, the fees they generated, I think it shows that there is an appetite, a hunger for something other than a meme launchpad. And I think that's what I'm most excited about. Why I'm going to play around with it more is because it is something new. It is something different. It's not just another meme launchpad. We've seen similar things before, but nothing quite like this. They got a pretty good wiki as well. If you want to go, do your own research and learn more about it. But also, once again, pays to be early. We saw this last week. I don't remember what day, but it was before the big run up. I first saw it, and I guess it was on I'm going to look at this. I'm going to pay attention to this later. Sometimes the difference in 2 days in crypto is tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like if you would have moved with any sort of size on this last week, you could have had massive gains, and several did. I saw some 15-year-old kid turned a couple grand or a grand into like over 100 grand. Hopefully sold some, but I think that's what I'm most optimistic for. Forget football.fun. I'm most optimistic for, are we possibly getting into the part of the cycle where everyone that's shipping something new isn't just attempting to ship another meme launchpad or another DEX on Hyperliquid?
Right. And I think, and it's funny, Bongi's like football.fun did not start in Web3. They had a Web2 pilot. It's still around to play for free.
Oh, I should have said, Steve, there is thank you for sharing that. They really stress use the free site. They have a free version. They have a when you log in, you'll see this, and it's like warnings. Hey, this is we if you're not familiar with cryptocurrency or the volatility that is involved, like we strongly recommend you just start with the free version of our game. Like, so to your point of like, is it Web 2? Is it Web 3? I do think they're trying to thread that needle and do both. And
Right.
maybe the free version is just that once people get really deep and they start seeing people make money, it's a way to onboard them and on-ramp them into crypto. And dude, I think that we're going to see many things do this, like build on chain, but you have to make it so it's not, you don't have to have a master's degree in crypto Twitter vernacular and inside jokes to understand it. You don't have to hold, 6-figure assets to get the boost. Like I think there can be a world where you have kind of both, and then eventually over long enough time, they kind of merge.
Yeah, that's I guess like, and I'm not like poo-pooing it. It's just
When you go sign up later today, because I think you might be surprised where it's almost like they're disencouraging you. They're encouraging you just to play the free. Forget about this crypto one. This is just for the crazies. Just go play over here.
Yeah, I'm not like, I'm not poo-pooing it. I like the idea of owning these cards, making them sellable. I like the idea of, like I love the idea of like what Spoiled Banana Society is doing with like fantasy football. I think something like that, selling your team, feels more like it's just. I guess the thing that throws me off if I'm trying to figure this out is like it feels like the Web3 add-on is like, okay, and connect your wallet and get boost for having these NFTs. Again, I like this concept. It's weird because I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth in the sense that I love this concept on a macro level. Like I love the idea that on a macro level, if you hold, if there are blockchain assets you hold by Delta, you can just connect a Marriott account and they can recognize that you have both those, and both those can like give you boosts and opportunities in those. And then like you can do a partnership with Starbucks, and instead of just like having weird APIs that connect them, like a Starbucks NFT connects to a Delta NFT, and like you connects to Delta, and you have this, and it can give you this deal, and holders of this thing. Like I like all those things. It's just when you see like a Web 2 product, and then it's like, we recognize that you have a Good Vibes Club and a Moonbird. Like it almost feels like you're leaping from point A to point J instead of point A to point B there. But overall, like, I mean, I like the concept and the idea. I'm going to check it out. Like you said, we saw it last week before it went parabolic, probably missed an opportunity. I'm probably more hesitant because these things feel more bubbly to me when I saw the way the timeline was talking about it. It was like Beast had this funny tweet. I see Beast about like, nobody's talking about football.fun. He's like, everybody's saying that nobody's talking about football.fun. Like everybody's talking about football.fun. But I think it's worth like looking at, because I think these sorts of fantasy mechanics are interesting. I totally agree with that. And I like the idea of being able to sort of buy, sell squads. And so I think there's some interest there. I need to poke around a little bit and play with it more before I make too much of a judgment. I just saw it on my timeline yesterday. And like, again, to be honest, like I think after next week, so next week I'm busy again. It's like I finally will have some open weekends to do some stuff, hopefully following next week. Although then I'm sure soccer kicks off for my son, so then it like probably doesn't. But it's like I just haven't had time to like dive into the trenches as much as I want to on weekends, which is like now's the time to lock in because family stuff and other things going on. So I have some concerns. I'm probably not diving in because it feels frothy to me already. It feels like I am a little bit late to be jumping in on something like this.
See, this is where I can't disagree more that it feels late to be jumping in on something like this. If it doesn't work, if it goes bust, yeah, you're late. It's already done. It's not even $100 million market cap. If it works, they're insanely early. It's just like people who got into NBA Top Shot in January of 21, like, oh, I could have been buying this moments for pennies if I was in October. We were still insanely early getting into.
I think Top Shot topped in February for what it's worth. I believe is the number in February 21 was the number.
Dude, I ran up a few $100s to well over 30 grand by getting in January. We were very, very early.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'll have to check the Top Shot market, but I think it topped in either February, maybe March. Like it was pretty much topped by then. So you could have potentially gotten the run up. Maybe that's the last 20% and let the 80% of the gains the last 20% type thing. But the example there, you actually would have been potentially getting your hand caught in the cookie jar if you were jumping in then. Look, I'm not
Top Shot in January 21 was early. And they all made money. And if they sold, they made money. If they and some of those may still be up on those bags. I have ones actually still NBA Top Shot moments I bought in January that are still more today than they were when I bought them. So it's like we often, it's like people said they were late to apes the entire year of 2021. They weren't. It's just things can move so quickly now. Was it frothy over the weekend when everyone screenshot it? Yeah. It can go one or two directions from here. People could just completely sell their bags and no one pays attention. If there's a real game that people are enjoying and they have longevity, we're very, very early, I think.
Yeah, like, I mean, let me put it this way. Maybe language choice. But by the way, like, yeah, the Top Shot market topped late February or early March is when the Top Shot market started to just precipitously drop. So
Yeah.
you would have been able to get in.
45 days in crypto is enough to make a massive bag.
Correct. Like you would have been just in time to not be like late, but like if you saw it like January and you got it in February, like probably game over if you held for a little bit of time there. Although again, to your point, I made quick flips and tried to do what I could there to start the journey.
Pack grips were insanely profitable. The waiting rooms, it went well into March. Maybe if you're buying, $100,000 LeBron moments, you're late to that. But people were printing on pack grips, pack drops, and flipping those into March.
Yeah, like it's like you said, like the numbers on Top Shot would say, because I had looked this up at one point when I was looking at some NFT stuff, and I just double checked to confirm. Late February, early March, daily sales volume peaked, and then it just started to tank. So after March, for sure, it was completely tanked. But from a cost perspective, look, let me change.
Part of that though is, they flooded supply. They made some really poor decisions. Part of what I like about this is, unless I'm mistaken, like supply of these players. Like it's like that matters. Like fixed supply is important, and hopefully they learn from some of the mistakes the Top Shot made. Top Shot had a chance. They made a lot of really poor decisions.
I actually think Top Shot still has a chance, but and same with All Day. I think they both still have a chance. But like either way, like let me put it differently. I'm not deep enough in the soccer game anymore to play this smart. I don't know, unless I am just going pack sell, which maybe that's the play. Find packs, get in queues, whatever the pack situation is on, lotteries or whatever it is, and sell. And that's the play. I'm not keen to let me put it this way. I'm not keen to attack this one the same way I attacked Top Shot. I had a much better understanding, much better look, much better feel of that market. So yeah, but let's do this. I know Bongi came up here to give some information on this. Then we will bring on our guests to kick off a pretty awesome campaign here. You're going to want to be listening as well. And we will bring on our guests here in a minute here. But Bongi, go ahead and get in here. I cannot hear Bongi on the space. Hold on, Bongi. One sec. Let me put in my ear bud. Apparently the space is not working again. Bongi, go ahead now. And try to go like 30, 45 seconds so that we can give a summary to the stream listeners because they can't hear you. It's not coming through Cap's thing. No, I can now, but if you go 30 to 45 seconds, I can give a summary because the people in the stream can't hear you. It's not pumping through Caps to the stream.
Probably a quick summary would be good.
Yeah, so in net, basically, Bongi's saying like it's a little bit different. It's not like you're owning the player. It's sort of contracts for certain games. I need to dig into the product a little more actually and understand the mechanics of it because I think I understood for the most part, like you kind of get a certain amount of plays with this thing and you get a certain amount of plays with certain players. So, yeah, it makes a little more sense, but it's definitely a little bit more of a complicated game, I think. So again, this is one of those things where it's like, I want to understand. It's one of the reasons with DeFi, other things that I do what I do. It's like I want to understand the mechanics of the game that I'm playing. NBA Top Shot was collecting packs. There weren't sort of games that were involved there. NFL Day collecting packs. This sounds like it has a little more in-depth mechanics to it. So I think that's what we need to. I want to make sure I'm paying attention to how the game is played. So
also crypto. This is my crypto name. Says, is this not technically DFS gambling? This is just collecting with performance boosters. Yeah, this isn't my understanding, because it's good segue for another quick highlight, and then we'll get to our special guest here. But this is you're collecting, you're trading. Like, it doesn't hit the same criteria that sports books or casinos do as far as the big beautiful bill goes. The other thing that was really seemingly in the news, not just over the weekend, but it really popped over this weekend for some reason, is prediction markets might be the meta this cycle. Like, they are just, it wasn't that long ago, myself included, thought they were going to die off after the election, and they have done the exact opposite. From Polymarket to CwC to Myriad and Clutch and everything else in between. Like, holy moly. I think we're going to get someone from CwC on the show here too. By the way, I've been DMing with one of their PMs and had a good thread. Maybe I'll pin that up if anyone wants to dive deeper. Just had some good takes on, kind of some deep thoughts, a longer thread. I won't read it all or even get into it here, but I will pin it up top. It's a PM from CwC, and just where, because that prediction markets also don't, get hit with the, you can only write off 90% of your losses. So, yeah, more on that soon. We'll save most of that conversation, but yeah, not all. I think when you're talking about you only be able to write off 90% of your losses is specifically is only on sports betting and casino games.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on prediction markets. I will hold them because I'm super bullish on prediction markets, have been for a little bit now. I think they are, I thought they were a meta once we saw the election happen, and that was a huge moment for prediction markets, and I think even bigger now. But let's do this. We're going to bring on Nova and Mike here in a second. We're going to play our intro. By the time we come back, they will be on stage. We're going to talk Other Page, and you're going to be able to be entered to be, if you stick around for it, some pretty big giveaways. Let's just say a lot of Ape.
Our biggest giveaway ever.
Biggest giveaway
970 some shows, and we've never given away. We never had a big giveaway this big.
And being here now is going to be important for it. So we'll play in Nova and Mike, and we'll have a conversation, and we will get ready to launch it.
Block by block, we pave the way. ApeChain architects lead the way. We spark the flame, ignite the chain. ApeChain architects, remember the day.
Time for ApeChain Architects, and who better to talk ApeChain Architects than some builders on ApeChain Other Page. Excited to have Mike and Nova in. We've been working with y'all behind the scenes a little bit here. We're very excited. We'll talk about what we're launching here in a little bit, but give us a like, a retweet, a comment on the space, on the room, on the video. Head over to Abstract if you can right now, because in a minute here, we're going to be sharing some information of how you can get yourself in the running to win, quite literally, thousands of dollars. So before we get into it, let's do some quick intros, and we'll get into what Other Page is. Because Other Page, so for reference, I talked to Nana, Sean Nana, at Lisbon when we had Ape Fest last year. And I was talking about how bullish I was on sort of like loyalty programs that allowed you to kind of really show that you did things and attended things, and how that could be programmed back against you. And he goes, hey, we're really building an iteration of that at Other Page. Just wait till you see it. And here we are. So, Mike, first, I want to get your intro, then we'll do Nova's intro, and then we'll dive right into the product, because I'm very, very bullish on this product.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Captain. Stoked to be here, guys. Also, going to be awesome to be part of this, the largest giveaway you guys have ever done. I didn't know that. That's amazing. That's really cool. Yeah, I'll try to keep this really brief. Basically, grew up low income, single mom, struggle was real. Everyone told me, do the 9 to 5, go to school, get the student loans, climb the corporate ladder. I did that, studied computer science, aerospace engineering, ended up at Boeing and hated my life there, realized that it wasn't for me. So I, around the same time, was in IRC and, the deep depths of the web, learning about Bitcoin and ETH and crypto. And ultimately that ended up being the thing that brought me to financial freedom. And since then, I've been basically trying to build products to, democratize access to capital through crypto, give everybody else access to the same opportunity. And I built one of the first decentralized exchanges back in 2017 called Radar Relay. I also built one of the first on-chain art galleries that was actually used by Snowfro it was like a 1 million pixel homepage thing. Pretty cool. Like one of the first iterations of one of the Ethereum smart contract NFT art galleries. And then, just been building startups for about 15 years and also super passionate mutant. The rest of the Other Page team is also probably arguably some of the most dedicated and passionate community members in the space, including Nana, Taylor Nelson, who are probably both in the crowd right now. And then obviously Nova on stage here with me.
Yeah, Nova, love that. Quick background for you as well, and then we will get right into the product, which I'm super excited about, and we'll give our the update on what we're doing with y'all, which we appreciate.
Hey guys, I really appreciate being here. I mean, I've listened to the show now for a very long time. I think probably I want to say 3 years or so. I don't know how long it's been, but it sounds like I think you guys have been around for almost 3 years now. So I think I've been pretty much listening to you guys for a long time. A little bit of my background. So actually I moved to the US in the mid 90s as a political refugee after the Soviet Union collapsed. Been here for about 30 years or so. And it definitely would have been nice back then to, have some crypto, that I could bring with me. That, we actually lost a lot of a bunch of our assets when we actually moved because of that. Early in my career, spent, several years running a small game design studio that built early iOS and Facebook games. Jumped to SaaS, where I spent part of crypto, last 8 years as a growth marketing executive, working on ad tech companies, e-commerce, cloud computing infrastructure. And then was fortunate enough to be a part of a few scale-ups, venture rounds and acquisitions. And then, eventually kind of had a cushion to jump to crypto full-time in 2022. And, met Mike in 23 and the rest is history.
Love that. Look, I mean, love that, and love that y'all got together on this thing. So let's just rip right into it. So for people who aren't familiar with Other Page, explain what, again, Diablito is ready in the chat waiting for the code. Diablito, did you find the coffee with Captain page is my question already, because we set it up in stealth.
He joined it last night. First member. Just out there, we have a community page sniper. Is Diablito the first ever community page sniper?
Yeah. No, Diablito. If you haven't found it yet, by the way, but we'll let people know. We'll talk about what Other Page is. But right now, the most important thing you do, if you're listening, if you're watching, go to other.page and set up your account if you have not already, because you obviously want to be set up on there to start. And then we will talk about what you're going to do in a minute when you join the Coffee with Captain community and the badges you're going to be claiming and the opportunities you're going to have there. But talk about what Other Page is. For people who aren't familiar with Other Page, give them a background.
Sure. Yeah. So the quick high level, I guess, is basically it's a platform for creators and streamers to verify community engagement, reward loyalty, and unlock new streams of revenue. I think unlike other platforms, kind of like the Galaxies or some of the other, questing platforms out there, that tend to really lean into token farming. Our goal is to basically build emotional ties with fans, give you a way to engage with your audience in a much more organic way, and rely on identity and avatar IP to help with that. And then, for your audience, it enables them to flex those badges and rewards and things that you build with your creator and streamer that you follow or your community. Currently on the platform, you're able to basically create a verified community, post updates to that community, issue badges, measure community growth, and a bunch of other things through some analytics. And then soon we're working on different forms of revenue. So ways to create mintables that you can sell and a bunch of other cool tools that will be rolling out pretty soon.
Yeah, and what I like about this is a couple things. We're going to talk about what we're doing. So I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and explain what we're doing here, and then I'll kind of have you talk through some of the mechanics here, because I think it'll almost be a good way to...
This is, yes, what we're doing. Like Steve said it, like, oh, we're kind of looking at some stuff, like, this is a creator's dream. So, if you're here, and you're a loyal listener of Coffee with Captain, if you're just finding the show today for the first time, we are kicking off a campaign today. This won't be the last thing that we do on Other Page. This campaign won't be the only thing we do with these badges you're about to collect. This is a creator's dream. Think of, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone by using some predecessors that came prior, but think of like POAP meets Super Spaces or Spaces Dashboard times about 100. It's taken the best parts of all these creator tools, community tools, and put them under one umbrella. Sorry, Steve.
No, all good. I think this will talk about, this will actually leg in a little bit to what we can talk about, because I think by making it very practical for people. So those watching the stream, I'm sharing what we are going to share later today. So we are doing the Coffee with Captain, the CwC Badge Challenge in partnership with ApeChain and Other Page. We're giving away 10,000 ape in prizes. 10,000 ape. Thousands of dollars. So here's what you are going to be able to potentially win. And this is what I like about how programmable this is. We can get really cute with it in the future. We'll talk about how deep you can get programmably on it. But we're going to have daily winners. So somebody today is going to win 100 ape. We're just going to choose someone. We're maybe going to ask you to do something every day and pick one person to win 100 ape. I'm just going to go ahead and say today we should give Diablito 100 ape for sniping us and finding us out. That is the stalker bounty.
Yeah, he gets the stalker sniper. Kind of creepy, but it's worth 100 ape for sure.
So Diablito, get your wallet address over to Cap. I know he's sitting on it, and he will get it. Thomas says he's already set up. One person is going to win 3,000 ape for a full set. So only one person who is going to collect all this set is going to go into a random draw. We'll talk about what that looks like in a second. So if you collect every single one of these, you're going to have the opportunity to win it. We wanted that to be for our loyal listeners, so we may sneak a badge or two in here or there.
And it only costs 0.1 ETH to mint each badge.
It is a free mint every time you do it on the page. But yeah, so basically, we're going to probably sneak some badges in. So if you are listening, if you are the Diablitos, the B Epics, the Jamberts, the Thomases of the world, the people who are here every single day, the Mels, all of our friends, you're going to potentially have the chance to win that 3,000 ape prize pool that maybe some casuals won't. Maybe they'll find some codes for dailies, but we might sneak some other ones in there. And then at the end of this whole thing, each one of these badges is going to be an entry with one person winning first place, 2,500 ape, one person second place winning 1,500 ape, and one person in third place winning 1,000 ape. So tons of giveaways every day for the next 4 weeks, every weekday that you are here, chance to win 100 ape. Diablito, you're pulling that home. Grand prize for a full badge collector. So the reason I want to talk about this a little bit, and by the way, if you're already on there, we'll give this out again. Diablito just for you, Law of the Saw just for you. The code is CwC Kickoff, all one word. If you are on there looking at our first badge, I think it's 2 in from the left there. For today, it is live now. CwC Kickoff is going to be your code to start minting some badges. So get out there and start doing that as well if you're out there. But CwC Kickoff is what you're going to look for. But basically, let's talk a little bit about this. So we're doing this whole thing, and we're able to both delineate a full set collector from a non-full set collector, talk about some of the mechanics you have, and then maybe expand on that to token gated and other things that you've put in, because I think you've put a lot of really clever mechanics into this page.
Yeah, for sure. So we've been iterating on this product for a long time, and that's how we kind of landed on the few things that we've got in this initial set of the badge creation flow. Basically, we've been trying to tap into like the things that we saw happen the most, and start out with like a really simple initial set. The product itself actually started out as like purely a profile page. And so we originally were like, oh, we'll build, an ape profile page, and you can like collect your items and show them on your page. And that was kind of the whole thing. And then we started doing these badges for like different types of activations. And we realized that just caught on. Like that was the thing that everybody liked the most, even more than the profile itself. That's cool too, but definitely a big part of it. So yeah, with the badge itself, we were focused on things like different tokens that you hold. If you have your own NFT, you can import it into our platform, and then you can token gate a badge based on that. So, your holders would have to hold that token. We have things like being able to basically badge gate off of another badge. So you've already done a badge, you can do like streak badges, use the previous badge as a requirement for the next one. You can also hold different ERC20s, and then obviously social mechanics. So, connect your social profile, very standard things like other questing platforms. And we're currently working on, future things to really dive into that more, like whether you like certain posts across different platforms, and hopefully even getting even deeper, like whether or not you participated and showed up to a stream, and you were actually engaged or got on stage, stuff like that. So that's where we're headed.
Yeah, so I love this. So again, the idea, if people aren't, kind of tracking this, it's like right now we have, badges out there. I think we've had 14 claims already from the inaugural badge. We'll send it out to get more people kind of going on that. But if you are in there, you want to sign up for Other.page, you want to go over to our Coffee with Captain page, CwC kickoff, apply the code and claim the badge. But what we love about this is you can basically
linked up top. If anyone hasn't found it yet, the link to our community page is linked up top, and CwC kickoff, all lowercase, not case. Is case sensitive or no? It's all lowercase anyways, right?
The code can be whatever. Yeah, not case sensitive.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Yeah, not case sensitive, but jump on there, get the badge, because there are things that are here that are like, again, what I love about this is like the idea of token gating badges. So you can say like, look, we want you to claim a badge, but we want you to truly be in our community. The idea of, being at an event and using a keyword, the idea of having QR codes, the amount of things you can do to gamify this and have different types of winners. So like this set, when we complete this 4 weeks, we could call it Coffee with Captain Set 1, like sort of almost be the set, the inaugural set, the baseline set. And then we could do another campaign in a couple months, and we could say, hey, those who collected all the badges in season 1, but people can also buy and sell badges too, right? So this is something where, let's say somebody misses this claim and they want to decide they want to get into the raffle. Somebody doesn't want to get into the raffle who says, you know what, like I've got the claims. They could sell their badge to somebody else to have the opportunity to win that grand prize, right?
Yeah, there's some really interesting secondary stuff happening that we didn't even necessarily anticipate, but makes a lot of sense. If you tie different rewards or different things, some people are even like buying them just so that they actually have the visual set. Not even, it doesn't even have to be associated to rewards, just because they love to collect. So yeah, definitely a thing that we're starting to see happen a lot.
And something, I mean, the way I view badges too is like, they're almost like transferable loyalty points, right? That you earn, and then they're yours to essentially to either keep and redeem or be able to give somebody else. We have badges go for like over $200, I think $100 or so, $150. I think was like our highest that we've seen. And that's just, definitely shout out to Simple Farmer and Clutch Puppies. I mean, they're doing some great work over there. But yeah, I mean, definitely exciting to see that happen. I mean, people are driving value for these badges, and you're starting to see it really, translate into secondary sales.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me, like there's so many different things you could do with it. There's so many different ways you can claim it, you can gamify it, you can play it. And there's other mechanics here where you could do things like limit badges, right? So it's like, that's what we saw with Simple Farmers. It's like, if we wanted to say, like, let's say that we get 25 people claiming today from the space, or 100 people, or whatever the number is, we could have a limited badge that is slightly less than that tomorrow that we could put out mid during the show, and the first 100 people to claim it are the only ones in that full set category. So you can play around with it and do things like that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, the streaks and the compounding badges are definitely something we're seeing happen. It's pretty cool.
I have a question that we haven't asked yet, and talking through this, it popped in my head. So I'm going to apologize in advance for putting you on the spot. I think, based on how my understanding of the platform, I think there's a way, but it's more so I'm not familiar with the other platforms. Like, where I'm going with this, is it, because we have done some of the old school antiquated co-apps for live events, right? We've probably done, what would you say, Steve, less than 5 in our entire time we've been live?
Something like that, yeah.
Some of those were like cool milestone moments for us, our first live show, that sort of stuff. Is there what would you, like, if we wanted to acknowledge that, or like, it's not necessarily convert, but could we do a badge that the only way to claim this badge is if you have the Coffee with Captain live show in New York co-app?
Yeah, POAPs are technically an NFT, so there's no reason we can't import them. We also no shade on POAP. Obviously, they're a huge inspiration for us, and those guys are awesome over there. Um, we want to work with them really closely, and we'll be able to like pull in the details and stuff. So we're actually working on a feature related to POAP
Oh wow!
specifically.
So just
Yeah.
hang tight.
So-
Then no need to figure out the solution now. Wait till you link that up. But yeah, sorry
Yeah,
for the
should be pretty soon. Hard to
there.
prioritize, what people are asking for, but yeah, it's on our list.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the way that we can. So we're giving away obviously our 100 ape coin per daily person. We're just putting that in the pot for people who listen daily to encourage them to be here. But for those draws, like they're done right on the platform, right? I mean, that is something that you guys. It's not like we have to go to like some special site or we have to use random number generator on our own. Like you're making it easier for creators. So if creators are out there and want to have their audience and give them a chance to win something, you're making it easy for them right then.
Yeah, we want to try to bring all the tools that you need as a creator into a single place. It's definitely really important for us. So, yeah, raffle was the obvious one to start with, and we're going to continue to expand on that, and even looking at things like just doing token drops directly from inside the platform after the raffle, and selling items, like anything you can imagine. So we're trying to decide what to pull in and when. But yeah, the raffle was an obvious one to start with for sure.
Yeah, and what sort of creative ways or interesting ways have you seen people use these so far? I mean, obviously just, attendance and showing up, but what are some fun community activations you've seen? I know for me, when I look at like sort of some claimed badges, it's like, I play the Wheel of Faith and won no prize, right? It's like, that's like one funny one with the no prize one in there. It's, Coliseum Battle Pass, it's Project Dragon, it's Fuck It Saturday, it's Lisbon, it's all these different badges that you've had. Like, talk about some of the different ways you've seen people use these.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing about it is like we originally thought it might be directly associated to gaming, and we've seen it drift away from that quite a bit. I mean, the gaming use case is really cool, but obviously, like anything you do, whether it's IRL events, we've seen people issue them, in person at events. M Squared even did one at like a conference. They dropped a badge and they had like a custom avatar that you could display with that badge at a conference. So that's cool. We have, that's more like the POAP IRL event thing. But one of my favorite use cases that I've seen that we didn't even really think about is people are using them for like factions. So like, Ape Games, for example, was like, oh, if you claim this certain badge, you're basically tying your loyalty to a certain team. And I felt like that's pretty cool. Like it's just something we would have not really considered. And it's almost like a faction credential or like choosing your team. That one's pretty cool.
Coming soon.
It's all over the place.
Steve versus Cap faction. We're gonna make you all choose. You got to pick one of it here. Soon in this campaign, that's the first thing I'm firing up is can I beat Steve?
I got awesome. I'll fire some bullets on that one. I'll get some people involved, but no, but it's really nice to see other play huge part in what Machiavelli does in other games. And I mean, this is such an interesting potential piece to expand again far beyond our corner of the internet. To me, like part of what I like also from a user perspective is you have it so that people can talk about signing up and the process of signing up, because I see people using emails, I see people using their X. We require both X and email to claim our badge. It's one of our, low barrier to entry requirements that we have there. And by the way, if anybody's having trouble claiming or they have questions, tag us in the chat, tag us throughout, because we know that we're just launching this. We're going to have a full announcement later today, but we want to launch it with the team. Talk about signing up and what people can do to sort of start getting involved, because it does feel like it has consumer appeal down the line.
Yeah, we're trying to make the platform as easy as possible to sign up, and definitely trying to lean into not being a super crypto product. Well, obviously that's the target market to start with, but we want to make it easy. So like, Privy, log in with an email, log in with social, or if you're a crypto OG, obviously you can log in with your wallets. And we have a lot of like crazy complex stuff for linking wallets and delegation wallets and all that. But the flow is it's pretty straightforward. You basically just connect with anything that you have available, email. We have partners as well, like UGID, Glyph, and working on other types of wallets with other ecosystems so that it's straightforward. You can just bring what you already have to log in. And then as soon as you sign in, we have a fully gasless in the background mint for your avatar. So you get your profile and you can mint an avatar if you don't have one. And if you do have one, you can choose from an NFT or a PFP that you already have to set up your profile. And then from there, you just bounce to the browse page and you can start looking through badges and different communities and jump right in. So trying to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah, it's the type of thing where I feel like talk about some of the use cases you see down the line for the thing. I'll give an example. The one I love is like the idea that I could go to the zoo and you could have like a thing where people could just go to each, you could have kids going to the zoo and going to different animal exhibits based on sort of a scavenger hunt, and they could win some sort of a prize, just like with a school field trip. You could have, maybe this is something I'll actually do with my, get crypto wallet set up for all my, my kids' friends. But like something you could do on like a field trip. It's something that you could do at national parks. Hey, you get to national park, you visit a national park, you start to collect a national park set. So talk about like some of these applications that you see in your mind when you really zoom out.
Yeah, I think the big picture long term is definitely just like being able to prove any type of activation or engagement anywhere. So, I mean, you nailed it. Like national park, that would be wild. You go to a national park and, we integrate Other Page with the Forest Service, and they can view how many people go to the national park and later have, rewards they could give away or something like that. Obviously it could apply for creators or for anyone who's, maybe runs a small business. You could do like loyalty type platforms through it as well. So maybe I, purchase an item or a shirt or something from your store, and I'm a loyal customer, so I get a badge every single time. I could build up, loyalty that way. I mean, big vision for it is really tied to, obviously it's like primarily digital, but we see like the internet kind of right now starting to head back to its roots of like being more of like an open platform where everything you do on the internet is owned by you. It's something as an individual and as a creator, you're able to, kind of take ownership of it and curate everything that you're doing and bring that from platform to platform. Whether that's on the internet or out in the real world. So yeah, long-term vision is just accruing and building identity, and tying that back to your favorite creators and building a really genuine audience.
And that's what maybe I just want to quickly expand on that. I mean, I think we're headed towards a world where every single, chain, eventually every single banking institution has their own wallet, right? Like we've seen with like Glyph or the Abstract wallet. I mean, you're going to see soon like Bank of America wallet, Chase wallet, right? In the future, I think OP could become this like central hub where digital identity and a place where your avatars, your money, your community move with you anywhere online. And I think like now that's kind of the future we're building towards, right? Kind of being this hub that all your kind of wallets and identities connect to, and they can travel with you anywhere you go.
Yeah, I love this idea. Talk to me, like, how far off are we in your mind, I guess, from some of the things that I just said, where it's like, could I go tomorrow to my local art museum, like the main art museum in my city, and be like, yo, let's do a collector challenge here. We'll have a little bit of we'll have a keyword at all these different exhibits. We do a scavenger hunt. We are giving away a membership to the art museum for a year. You sign up with your email. Are we there now? Are we almost there? Like, talk about, this is obviously a product that a lot of people in crypto are using, but how far off are we from me being able to go to local businesses here and tell them, hey, use this product?
I think we're close. I think we need maybe a few more iterations to make it feel less of a super crypto native product. There's some stuff with like the avatars and the NFTs that if you're not familiar with the industry and the space, you're going to be totally confused. But I think we're getting there, and that's definitely we're trying to move there as fast as possible so that there's basically that the platform would be a little more modular. So if you want the whole avatar system, you really want it to feel crypto native and do, who knows, DeFi stuff, things like that, you can, but we want to make that more modular so that if you're, a museum or something along those lines, then it still works for you and you don't necessarily have to use those pieces of the platform. So soon, months, hopefully.
That's my
dream. Out there.
I am dreaming for the moment when I am unleashed to start talking to businesses about this, because this is like, honestly, this is like a lot of the thesis of what I wrote my book about. This is the type of loyalty that I think actually matters. This is the type of thing where it's so programmable. It's so easy to do. I can't explain enough how easy it was to go on there, upload a badge, just crop it into the circle, and just put the description in. And it's like, if I can do this for local businesses and help them potentially drive campaigns that are much easier. So instead of like, duct taping a whole cocktail of technologies together, it's tell them to go, tell them to click here. It'll prompt them to sign up for the page. They sign up for the page, and you just walk around and, hey, this clue says to go into this place in the elephant exhibit. You go there, you tag it, you get your thing, and next thing you know, you're entered to win a membership to the zoo or a behind the scenes. And it doesn't have to be monetary. It could be like a behind the scenes tour with the spider monkeys or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you can do a lot of fun things with this. And I for one am, I mean, I'm probably equally as excited about it as you guys are. I swear. Like, this is the thing that, like, when we first started talking to, when I talked to Nana and then we talked to Taylor in Paris, it was like, this got us going, man.
Kept getting better and better. Like, we're giddy and we're not eligible to win the prizes, but I'm not blowing smoke. It's solving so many, not problems, but so many challenges for us as content creators. Like, a lot of the stuff that, I mean, some of the stuff we simply couldn't do previously, and the things we could, it was just very challenging. I had to use 3, 4, 5 different platforms and hunt and peck and export spreadsheets. And then this is everything that we would like to. So when I said this is not just going to be a campaign, this is going to be a key part of our community going forward. I did my first post on the community page, like, that other page, the Coffee with Captain, that is our official Coffee with Captain community home base. Going forward, we'll have our updates there. If you're a regular listener, you want to tune in. I know some people aren't in like, oh, I don't want to go and have to claim something every single day. I'm not a POAP hunter. Ryan Carson, gave me PTSD. Noted. You don't have to do that. I would encourage you to do that for this one because of the campaign. But we do special guests. We have a lot of ideas and some things we wanted to do in the past, quite frankly. And it's just the tech hasn't quite been there, and they're nailing it. I don't think it's too non-Web3 unfriendly. I think you guys have done a really good job for a pretty easy, intuitive user interface. And from the creator standpoint, I think you'd be hard pressed to find anything that's more intuitive, easy to set up, and build a community page like this to where it's not just a bulletin board. It's not just a message board, but actually being able to identify who's in your community. Like, not just that, but like, I think this is pretty cool. I'll flash some statistics. Oh, by the way, some quick little nuggets. Yes, thank you, KZ. When you enter the code, make sure you hit claim. Like, just entering the code isn't you got to hit claim badge below that. We see like already there's been over 50 members sign up, 37 badge claims. So a few of you there's just make sure you hit that last step and claim badge. But like, again, talking about some of the benefits from a creator standpoint, of those wallets that connected, just under $4 million already out of 56. It's probably one whale out of there holding us up after today's sell-off. I kid, but like, there's so much from a data analytics, and it's all right there. It's all in one spot. It's very easy, very intuitive, and yeah, again, here, if you're looking, someone said, where do I claim it? Once you go to the page, other.page/community/coffee-with-captain, click the Coffee with Captain inaugural badge, and you will enter your claim code and claim it right there. But yeah, big fans, and some others are looking already. Mel's out there wanting to collect more badges. I gave a shout out to Other Space is a good one if you want to tune in. I know they've been doing the badges for a while. Someone gave Baron Von Hustle a shout out and his profile, and then Machiavelli in the chat talking about how they are, it's playing a huge role for all that they're doing in other games. But yeah, I don't know, Steve, if you saw the collective on-chain, just under 4 million, just in the 51 members who've already joined.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm a big fan of this. Like we said, like 39 have claimed. Again, if you have gone there, the secret code is CwC kickoff, all one word, all lowercase. Go ahead and claim your badge if you haven't. There will also be a thread later today with instructions. This one probably won't be the like limited sneaky badge, so we'll have a limited sneaky badge at some point just for listeners, for those full set collectors. And then the last one we're going to link out in the newsletter on Friday, so you're going to want to like be subscribe to our newsletter when that happens on Friday, as well as sort of some instructions on the full badge set. we did, for this week at least, keep all badges open through Sunday. That's another thing you guys did really well. You gave a time bound. So I was able to go in this weekend. I was able to put when it started, when it ended. People know what's coming down. So people can now lock in on the page and wait for that moment to click over and say, okay, what's the code? What's the code? It's live. What's the code? So it's a little bit of a fun thing for us where it's like, we could do the codes for the whole week. We could do the codes just for that day. We could do some special ones. As Cap mentioned, like if we do a live event, say at Ape Fest, for example, we could do one for that, which will matter. It's like, it's just giving us so many tools in our toolbox as creators. And I'll say that. One question we did get from the chat, someone said they connected the wrong X account and they didn't see a way to change it. So is there a way to change your X account once you've connected? Is that coming down the pike? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I guess it depends on how it's connected. If you're talking about X through Glyph, that would be different. You'd have to sign out of Glyph, sign back in. If you're talking about connecting X directly to your account, if you go to your account settings, there should just be a little button that you can click to disconnect your X account, and then you can sign back in and reconnect it.
Same question with wallets. I'm guessing use like just not their own wallet. They must use Privy or another connection. Are they able to add or link multiple wallets later?
Yeah, should be able to. On the account settings page under the wallet section, you can add as many wallets as you want. Wallet UX is a little weird. Like you might have to sign out of Glyph or sign out of your current wallet and then like sign back in and reconnect. So sometimes it's a little tricky, but yeah, you should be able to connect as many wallets as you need.
And we also support wallet delegation too. So like, don't feel the need to connect your, wallet with all your assets. Just use your hot wallet that's delegated too. And don't use your cold wallet, please.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, look, this is awesome. Like I said, like, again, for those out there, I think we have 40 claimants so far. CwC kickoff is the passcode. 40 claimants in about 15 minutes. Not too shabby, but we'll definitely get some more today. I'm going to share out a post later today with all the details on what we're doing. So you'll get some love for that. Maybe we'll even pick a winner for the 100 Ape tomorrow who like or retweet that post. I don't know. We get to do what we want to do there, but it's a really cool thing. And I'm obsessed with what this can be and what it can do, and excited that you're not just, look, again, all love to POAP for kind of kicking this thing off. I've done POAPs for a lot of things. This is just so much of a better experience to me personally, with a full-on profile page, with the way you have the raffle mechanics, with the way that you're putting sort of sets together, the way that you're kind of giving options and creativity. All of these things get me really, really excited. And I like it, again, just so much better than like it's actually building infrastructure for something that you could eventually, put together. So would you talk about like, hopefully in a few months we have this sort of thing? Is it the type of thing that I could, do you want to have Other Page being sort of the home base, or is it the type of thing where, again, maybe a museum or a zoo or somebody white labels and says, we have our system that's built on Other Page's rails?
Yeah, we've thought a lot about white labeling. I think if the right opportunity comes along that makes sense and, somebody wants a branded experience, we're definitely open to the idea. The problem with white labeling is we're a small team, so it'll just fracture us and, it's hard to keep up. So that's pretty much the only limitation for us right now. But outside of that, I mean, we do, in a sense, we have a way to white label the platform as it currently stands. We have like a theming system. So you can actually, various types of NFTs and assets can actually be equipped as a theme, and you can swap out where it says Other Page actually right here with a different logo that is like your personal brand. So in a sense, it's like already pretty close to like a dynamic white labeled product, and we may continue to iterate on that and add even more features. But yeah, that's a great question.
And also, like, as our user base growth, it becomes like a discovery hub as well, right? So it's like, if you have your own separate hub, obviously, if you're a huge brand, probably today, you probably don't care. But eventually, once we have, millions of users, like, people can find your brand on Other Page. And I think that's going to become over time more and more important.
Yeah, ideally, we can contribute to distribution and help all these brands tap into a bigger user base is the goal. So, yeah.
Love that. I mean, look, this is like super exciting for us. Like, if people can't tell how excited we are about it, we are, like I said, we've done some graphics, we put it all together. Machiavelli here. Love how you guys are bringing it all together with enough creators to do this. We begin to make it a part of the culture. What a great campaign. Thank you, Machiavelli, for us. And I think I'm sure the other page folks are feeling the love as well. And by the way, again, when you talk about the fact that we talked to Taylor about this at Paris, we talked to Nana about this at Lisbon. I mean, you're talking about a group that has been building on this thing for a long time and has actually been driving towards it. Didn't just say, hey, we entered a bear market, let's give up, or, oh, I don't like the way the coins are going, or, oh, a new shiny object came along, like, or having an exit or changing your mind, or it's a continual building process. So I respect that because I know how long y'all have been working on this. With that said, appreciate you guys jumping on with us bright and early this morning. I know it is quite early for everybody, especially those on the West Coast. Any other thoughts? And again, for those listening back on podcast to us, again, you're going to want to go to other.page. You're going to want to find the Coffee with Captain community, and that first badge, CwC Kickoff, is the keyword. Any other things? We'll start with you, Mike, then we'll finish with Nova. Any other thoughts or anything you want to get across maybe that we didn't ask you this morning?
No, I don't think so. I think if you're a creator and you run a community, obviously sign up for the platform. Our entire goal is to just put ownership and upside back into the hands of creators and those who create culture and value. That's the whole point of the platform. And obviously means a lot to have you guys as big advocates, and really appreciate all the kind words. And we have over 300 communities on platform at this point. Ever since we spun up the tooling, it's just been accelerating. So we're really stoked about that. The platform would be nothing without the communities and without the creators. So yeah, really appreciate all the kind words and everybody checking it out.
Awesome. Nova, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll just mention that, we're probably one of the few crypto apps where it's not about just pumping and dumping tokens, right? We're really on the collector side of the creator capital markets kind of, thing that's been really starting to trend lately. And we have genuine communities, and a lot of people are just collecting these badges for the sake of collecting. Sometimes you get a reward, sometimes you don't. It's really up to the creator. And for most people, just showing up and having proof that they were there is really enough for them, And I think that's going to really worth stressing. We're not seeing numbers go up just because people are farming an airdrop. This is just communities building their communities, and creators, doing the drops just to reward their communities. And then, like Marcel, if you're a creator, head over to other.page to get started, and feel free to drop us a DM if you're, want to chat or have any questions. Really appreciate you guys hosting us.
Well, look, thanks for jumping on. We're excited about it. We're excited about this campaign. Again, that's other.page. Find the Coffee with Captain page, code CwC Kickoff. We'll be talking about it the timeline. And to anybody listening, one thing you can do that would be awesome, there are other creators out there, or if you are a creator, big, small, whatever it may be, reach out to the Other Page team, get a community set up. They are a great team to work with, and we are just stoked to be aboard and working with them, working with our friends at ApeChain. Again, can't be happier about our work with ApeChain and our work with Other Page, both on this campaign to help us do this. We've increasingly been trying to do things where we want to slide giveaways into our community, and they're giving us the opportunity, both giving us the opportunity to do this. But if you know creators out there, if you know people out there who could use this product, let them know, connect them with Other Page. If you are one of those people, connect them. Great place to start building a community. So appreciate you both for joining us this morning. And I'm sure we'll have you back on again at some point soon, but keep me updated on consumer facing product, because I am ready to just go tell people to use this thing.
Love it. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you, Steve. And if you're listening also, make sure you go, to your Audible or your Amazon bookstore and get the Everything token. Really, really great book.
My man, Nova, pumping the bags. Appreciate that very, very much.
Yeah, for
Love
sure.
that. Right on. All right. Well, have a good day, y'all.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
And if anyone's still having the questions with wallets and stuff, if you go, I'll show you, it'll be easier. So if you go to up at the top right, click on your PFP, and then just scroll down to account settings. And in there, you'll see linked wallets, other connections. So you can connect Discords, you can disconnect. All that stuff is your delegated wallets. All that's right in there. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. The team's great. They're awesome. And you can't really break too much. So get in there, play around, explore some of the other communities. We already mentioned a few, but set up your profile. There's no requirement for that. As far as if you saw my profile, I had flashed up on the screen there a little bit ago. I had my other deeds. I had some 10K KTF gear. It pulls in my 3D asset from Apes. We should probably ask what other collections they have the 3Ds assets already rigged in there. I'm not familiar beyond Apes, but if you have an Ape, that definitely is the 3D rig is already ready to go just with the connection. So there's just a lot of cool stuff you can do from a profile standpoint. It will be our community home base, as we said, and truly excited beyond this campaign, right? Like, while Other Page is absolutely playing a key role, they're not sponsoring us in the sense like, oh, have us on, and they're contributing to the prize pool, and we really love the product. It's something that we've been looking for a while. In fact, we were 3D code is in there as well. Awesome. We were, for this campaign that we've been playing with ApeChain, we were looking at a few other things, and are there ways to mint NFTs? There is, but it was going to be clunky. It was going to be a lot of manual process. We would have had to do our own raffle, whereas here it's all baked into the platform. And just, I think every time we would talk to the team or have a conversation about it, Steve and I both just like had kind of an aha moment, like, wow, they've already solved for this. They got this part figured out. And yes, I think you'll enjoy the community element there and collecting some of these badges and winning some prizes. Just can't say enough. If you're a creator and you've not explored communities on Other Page yet, can't stress enough. Like, sooner than later, you're going to want to talk to that team, because it's better than, I know they're kinder than I. It's just, they've leapfrogged POAP by leaps and bounds, like 10x already in just getting started. Not dunking on POAP. They are what they are, and they've really nailed this from a execution and ease of use standpoint. And to think it's still early in what they're building, it gets me excited about where it might come. The chat loves it too, by the way. I mean, Mel talking like, imagine you get some of these big brands, this would be super cool. Imagine it takes off in Delta or the gym or whatever. It would be crazy valuable for their marketing. I agree. Like, when I go to the gym, I fire up I track my fitness in my Peloton app, which I don't even ride the bike anymore. So but the idea of just checking in, collecting, like, I do it. We've all, many of it, whether it's an application or you check in somewhere, you get a loyalty card. I'd much rather have a badge every day I checked in that someday becomes meaningful. Every once in a while, I go to Crunch, like, they'll give away like a Tesla or a Mustang or some car. Well, instead of just doing randomly, whoever, enters the raffle this month, maybe, I don't know, reward, the top 10% of people, the only people who are eligible are the people who've been at the club, in the top 10% of all members or all attendees. Like, there's so much that can be done with next gen loyalty. Blockchain tech unlocks this. The reality is, Ethereum by itself, any blockchain by itself for that matter, doesn't unlock this. We need intuitive, easy to use, customer facing apps that really unlock all these capabilities. And this is one of the more exciting ones that I've come across in quite a while.
Same. I just think, man, I just think that this is like so exciting for me personally. Again, we could do a thing where in the future we could be like, hey, we just got a really big sponsorship, and part of it's going to reward people who have the first set of these, right? It's like, we could do so many things. Or, again, everyone's an entry. We could do it. There's so many things we can do. We'll call this the inaugural set. It's going to have a look and feel to it. We can change the look and feel for the next set. If we do this again, if we do another campaign, if we renew, if ApeChain wants to stick with us as a sponsor in the, after, whenever the deal goes, it's like, we could do it again and have this as another incentivized reward if we work with rewards and some of that. So it's just exciting. And we are going to continue to, and here's the other thing. If you're listening and you like that we're giving away things, make sure you sign up for the things that we do. So for example, Other Page, again, we got 50 claims so far in, about a half hour, not too shabby, but we can do better than that. We'll put out a tweet for it as well, but other.page, sign up, email, Twitter or X, and then go to the Coffee with Captain page and claim it. The keyword is CwC kickoff. We'll probably put this one out today for more people, maybe have some super secret badges so we could have some full setters. But if you like what we're doing, make sure you sign up for and use these things, because we want to continue to do these things where it's like, whether it's, with BZ and they are giving away claw polls, we are tentatively closing a deal with another sponsor where we're taking significantly less sponsor money to pass that sponsor money on to like near no sponsor money in order to pass the winnings on to the community. So just remember, there are, when you have the opportunity, it's great for our partners when they see that they're working. So other.page, sign up, go to the Coffee with Captain community, join it, and grab the badge. As Captain mentioned, we have 51 members and 50 badge claims. 51 members and 51 badges claimed. So it looks like it's going well so far. So go on there. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
While you're at it, I got a post from Taylor pulled up on the screen here. It says current 3D assets supported are apes, codas, forgotten runes, Meebits, G's, and more on the way. I pinned that up top. So if you're not already following Taylor, another key team member over there, heads up BizDev at Other Page, go give Taylor a follow. You'll also see Nova's accounts on the stage as well. Give Nova a follow. And then also up in the Jumbotron there's a post from the official Other Page account. If you've not yet followed that, definitely give the Other Page a follow so you can stay up to date on all these new updates and good one to support. So I'm stoked, Steve. Long time coming for this.
Yeah, me too.
Nothing that they've done. We just talked about doing this idea of, hey, how do we identify and then in the future reward and support our listeners, and especially those that tune in every single day. And we're here. We made it.
It's fun, man. I am a fan. I'm a fan of anything like this, right? I mean, this is kind of how this is how we sort of how we grow this space is products like this. So I need to actually update my my other page quite a bit because I don't have featured inventory yet, and that's got to change. So I am going to do that, and I'm going to figure out how to get everything done because I see Dort doing it, and I am super jealous. So want to get some of my my featured items on there as well. But look, I mean, good stuff. Very excited about this campaign. Again, we'll tweet about it later. We'll have more on the timeline later where people can claim. But thanks to all those who are claiming. Again, say it one more time. Other.page, connect your X, connect your email, and then simply go to the Coffee with Captain community page, which you will find there, and join it, claim the badge with the code CwC Kickoff. We will continue to do this.
I saw we have Ape Games on the stage, and I'll pump their bags a little bit because I saw we're flying up the leaderboards as far as community leaderboards go. And our target though is the one and only Ape Games sitting up top, the #1 community. Right now we're just in the silver tier, just getting started, but flew up to rank 53, and Ape Games has the target at the top of the Other Page community, Steve.
Yeah, we gotta top that, man. We got some work to do, but I think we got a chance to do it, man. I think I feel good about our chances. Do you?
I mean, they got some motion going. I don't know if we'll topple Ape Games and some of those others, but we'll definitely be moving up without a doubt. We'll gold is coded, gold is programmed. I'm sure what it takes to get there. I probably should have found that out first, but next tier is gold, so we're gonna hit gold, and we will. It's good that we've got a great thriving community in Ape Games to shoot for. I'm guessing it's Machiavelli behind the handle, but if not, GM, welcome, and feel free to take it wherever you'd like. I know you're clearly a big fan of Other Page. Oh shit, no audio. Steve, do you still have your headphones?
Yeah, I can get my buds for a second here. Give me one.
Hang tight. Yeah, we're deep breaths here. My nothing tells me like AV issues that are random, but
yeah, Machiavelli, go ahead and get in here. Yeah, sure. Oh, who's on APE?
Not Machiavelli.
Love that. Appreciate you coming up and giving that love. Ape Games, if people who missed it, I mean, Ape Games still thriving and getting it done, obviously digitally, but going to be doing some IRL stuff at Ape Fest. We will be planning to participate in that ourselves. Big prizes, including a mutant that will be up for grabs. So you're going to want to be involved in Ape Games as much as you can. Appreciate the builders coming through and just exciting, man. Exciting with that, and also love seeing other people using this technology that we're using. Again, we're up to 57 in the initial run. Again, we'll probably see that number go a little bit up with the kickoff, and all those people will get their one entry to potentially win that prize. But again, for those who missed it, I'll share one more time the if I can find our and then Cap will get any other hanging items before we get out of here, because I have we're getting it done. But the CwC badge challenge is getting ready to kick off. So again, with the CwC badge challenge, it will be, and we'll share this out later today in a tweet, 10,000 ape in total prizes. Today with the 100 ape, Diablito is going to get that. Cap will get that over to Diablito. So send your wallet address or drop it in a comment so that we can get it there if you're comfortable with that. Grand prize for one full set collector who collects every single one of all 20 of these badges or more over the next 4 weeks. You are going to get the opportunity to win 3,000 ape for one collector. First place is going to get 2,500 ape. Second place, 1,500. And third place, 1,000 ape. Again, all for people. Each one of those badges is going to serve as an entry there. So again, opportunity to cash in for you. So that's what we're going to be doing. Again, this will be going out later today, but want to give the alpha on the show first before we get the details out there. And just exciting times, man. Really excited to get people entered into winning this, and we'll be able to draw a winner and get it over there with the native technology and Other Page. But again, just showing up, 100 ape a day. Just by showing up to Coffee with Captain, we're going to be giving away to one person, so you're going to want to be here for that. But Cap, any other thoughts or anything you want to hit on before we let people get out of here?
That the claim. You said this will stay up until Sunday this week. At least they'll all all badges this week will all be open until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So you won't have a full, Fridays will only be open for a few days, but yeah, these will all be open to claim through the end of the week. So if you're mobile or having any issues getting your account set up, don't sweat. You can still get in there and claim it. If you forget the code, just ask. We'll share that again. But just CwC kickoff to get that one. Other news stuff. I am going to explore a little more football fun today to see if it's something that I'm. Excuse me. It's not a sport I follow, so I will go light just because I'm on, I don't have any edge on that front, but I do think if it lasts, I do think it's still early-ish. And there's one other thing I was going to look at today, but it's slipping my mind. More ETH buys. The ETHzilla I mentioned, I pinned that up top, raising 10 billion to purchase more ETH. The carousel, I will pin that again all the way to the left. If you've not hit those reminders, would appreciate that. It does help us out a ton. The carousel's up top all the way to the left. And pro tip, you can also go to other.page/claim and just enter the code from there. That's a good tip. That is alpha. So other.page/claim, and you can enter CwC kickoff to get it.
Yep. Exciting stuff, man. I mean, look, ApeChain on top. Appreciate the partnership there between Other Page. Again, you have the chance to be very early to this technology. 58 claimers now. Have a feeling that number will go up with our first one that we when we put out the tweet. And yeah, man, it's just this is real money. 10,000 ape is no joke. Thousands of dollars up for grabs on this. And this is the type of thing we love to do for the community. So get out there, claim the badge. Again, other.page, set up your account, Coffee with Captain page, CwC kickoff is your code, or just go to that claim page as Cap mentioned, little alpha right there. But opportunity to potentially win yourself thousands of dollars. Because I don't know, we haven't decided. We got to figure out if we're going to exclude the grand prize winner from the first place prize, but potentially a double dip there if we want to keep them involved.
Diablito says, don't forget you can also create a free 3D avatar you can claim on the other page. And KZ also says, don't forget to check the experiences pages for some games and badges as well. So again, get on there, play around. There's a lot, and as alluded to a couple times, even more coming. It really is a impressive platform, and excited to have a home base, right? Excited to have a home base for our audience here and continue some of these conversations, and most importantly, recognize and reward those who've supported us and continue to support us. We're excited to do some fun stuff beyond. I mean, not that 10,000 Ape is, no joke of a giveaway. Excited, grateful for the support of ApeChain, grateful for Other Page building cool stuff and adding to the prize pool. This is just the beginning. I'm not saying we're going to have a 10,000 Ape giveaway every month, but definitely looking forward to doing some fun stuff with this.
Yeah, definitely not the end of this. And we have a little more dry powder for potential giveaways after this too. So give us sign up. Like I said, the best thing you can do if you like these sort of things is 1, sign up at other.page to let them know that you're there. 2, go on the Coffee with Captain page and make sure you claim it. Obviously, we love that. Something that we're excited about as well. So go on to other.page, sign up, and claim the badge. Best things you could do there is by let our partners know that you're out there, you're loud, you're excited. Again, we'll have more reach in a little bit later today, but get out there and play around, because we like to do these sort of things for y'all when we can. And yeah, it's exciting to give stuff away, man. It's fun, and hopefully, and as you go through this, by the way, give us feedback on the campaigns as you go, because we do have more to do here, and we want to continue to utilize this. I see Ape Games got the hand up one more time, so let's go to Ape Games one more time, and then we'll get out of here. Yeah, you're good. Love that. We got Ape Games throwing in 4 GTDs for folks. So we'll have those to be given away as well. So we'll connect with the Ape Games on that for those as we go. And yeah, appreciate sweetening up the pot. So a lot of opportunities here on Coffee with Captain as we get this campaign kicked off. And 60 claimants so far. So 60 claimants in half hour, 40 minutes is not too shabby. But Cap, and there are parting thoughts before we get out of here.
Just because I set it up earlier, it wasn't what I was thinking that I forgot, but I mentioned we're going to have a PM from CwC join us this week. John Wang just announced joining CwC as head of crypto. So yeah, it is welcome to prediction market season.
Yeah, it's prediction market season is going to be very hot and heavy. I'm feeling good about it. It's a great it's a killer consumer product that I think people will definitely be excited to be using for sure. I mean, like it's the thing where if I say Polymarket, like people know what it is. So it's
also don't look now, but guess what just flipped mutants and Azukis?
What's that?
Do you have a guess? OG collection.
OG.
No one's talking about it on the timeline.
Not like Cool Cats or something, is it?
Better.
What? You got to tell me. I don't know.
Crypto dick butts. Now it's going to cost you 8,000 US American dollars to get your hands on one crypto dick butt, flipping Azuki and mutants.
That's what the future of finance looks like, my friend. It's future of finance. You know what? You love to see it, man. You love to see it. Crypto dick butts cooking again. I just think last thing I'll say on this is I think people got really excited and euphoric yesterday. Then people said, "Oh my God, it's over," and then it was not over, and then it was. It's like, look, things don't go up only. Try to keep your wits about you. Again, I've been doing some LPing, which has been helping me earn fees on the volatility, which has been really nice. But just try to keep your wits about you. Don't bet more than you can lose, and enjoy the ride. I mean, there is so much opportunity right now. It's like my Sol USDC LP almost went completely over to Sol. I was at basically 90% Sol, and it's climbed about halfway back, and you're collecting fees the whole way. So that's been nice. So, don't get yourself worked too much into a shoot in this market. It is early. Don't burn yourself out. Don't bet more than you can lose. Keep an eye on everything, and make sure you are playing the game that you want to play. But Cap, I mean, good show today. Excited to I know we have on Friday we have a special guest coming as well. So already have that book, but we have some other, I think, some guest duties to reach out to. Katana coming on Friday. I've been super into the Polygon streets. So that will be one that we can talk about. I'm trying to flip Cap to being a Polygon bull. With some of the DeFi stuff I've been doing. May book some other guests this week. We shall see, but we're going to get on the horn with a couple of people who are building out here and see what we can do. But Cap, any other thoughts before we let everyone get out of here?
Nope. Good day. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. Appreciate all the support. Big appreciation to ApeChain and Other Page for making all this possible. And yeah, you're gonna want to collect this full set. If you're here today, make sure you keep coming back for at least the next month and collect the rest of those badges to get your full set, because again, might be more than just this one campaign that rewards those full set collectors, especially this first one today. The inaugural badge it'll always be the inaugural badge. So definitely and GG to 2 Peterson calling the crypto dick butt. But appreciate everyone. Thanks so much for coming, and we'll be back tomorrow. Hit that reminder on the carousel up top if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, right on. Thanks everyone who came through this morning. We will talk to everybody bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.